Good morning. Okay, so today I want to talk about protocols, specifically things that you're doing to help yourself heal. Um, Possible things like mind-body work, or um, going and getting body work itself, like massage or acupuncture or acupressure, um, rolfing, Reiki. The list goes on and on and on. Then there's also other physical protocols, like maybe you're doing enemas, maybe you're doing coffee enemas, maybe you're doing water enemas, maybe you are doing hyperbaric chamber oxygen, maybe you're doing red light therapy. Uh, there's a number of protocols. Maybe you're doing cold therapy, maybe you're doing vibration plates. So there's all these different protocols that you could be spending money on and that you could be investing your time on. And we want to listen to ourselves, like what's working, what's not. What path do I go on? Where do I turn? What is, right for me and what is not? So the first thing we want to do is, how do we feel as we approach the treatment? Do we start to stress about actually doing it, about how much money it is, about whether it's going to work or not, whether it's going to be harmful for us, whether it's hurting us, whether it's helping us? We don't have time to do it. We don't like doing it. It's never going to work. Do we have these feelings and thoughts going around in our head constantly? Or do we actually feel like, I'm so glad this treatment is coming up. I'm looking forward to this treatment. I feel good about this treatment. I feel like this treatment's helping me. Every time I do this treatment, I feel a little better, stronger. I wish it wasn't so expensive, but I'm glad I'm doing this treatment instead of any other kind of previous treatment that didn't work. So how do we feel as we're approaching it? In patterns, maybe not just one off day, but overall, what are the patterns? What are your thoughts around this treatment as it's approaching, as you're about to do it, as it's coming up? Are you resisting? Are you in resistance to this treatment? Or are you totally open for it? That's really important to notice. It gives us clues. It gives us whispers into what our inner healer is telling us. Then after the treatment is done, same thing. What types of thoughts and things are going around in our mind as a general pattern after we do this particular treatment? Do we feel good? Do we feel relaxed, at peace? Are we happy we did the treatment? Do we feel a little bit better, a little bit stronger? Do we just feel it positive? Even if it hasn't made a change, do we feel positive, like it's working, it's helping, it's good for us? We feel happy about it. Or do we feel stressed out, worried? Is it causing us harm? Is it causing us danger? Are we doing too much? Are we overdoing it? Is it stimulating us? Is it making us this or that negative thing? Are you totally feeling tense and like, is this going to hurt me? Is this going to work? I'm never going to heal. Are these thoughts going around in your head after you're done particular treatments? These are also whispers. They're clues. You may not notice these thoughts and these things even happening in your body, but we have to be aware. So some things we don't feel harm us. We actually look forward to doing. We clear time in our day. We kind of go towards. We feel better when we're done. We feel like these things are helping in some way, whether they are or they aren't. Our psyche it agrees with them. Our inner soul agrees with them. We're not in resistance to it. And then there are other types of protocols that we feel stressed around, we feel worried about, we feel iffy. We kind of turn it around in our minds and we think, is this working? Is it hurting us? Is it hurting us? Are we making a mistake? These types of feelings, either before or after the treatment, really give you clues. But again, similarly to food, it's not just one day. You might have a worry about one day over something, but patterns over time. Notice over the next 5, 6, 7 times that you do this treatment, what are your feelings? What's your body saying and doing? What's your mind saying and doing as you lead up to it? And then after the treatment, so it's very important to notice this. And these are whispers. These are important. This is our inner healer telling us where we're comfortable, where we're at peace, what way we should turn, what way we should go. You know, maybe we're afraid to drop a treatment because everybody else tells us it's going to help us, but it actually hasn't helped us. And in fact, it's causing us some of, more stress, tension, worry, fear around it. Anxiety, looping thoughts, and maybe we need to let it go. Maybe it's not the treatment for us, and maybe we're holding on to it out of fear that if we don't do it, if we don't do these things, we won't heal perfectly. But the reason we're not actually taking a step forward, going in the right direction towards healing, is because we're not letting the things go that are actually harming us and holding us back in some way. The mind is very powerful, and it's these little subtle hints, these subtle whispers, these little stirrings inside us that say, this isn't right for you, or this is right for you. And we ignore them based on research or what others are telling us, or our practitioners, or, our other podcasts, or what other people have done, or what we should be doing. And we ignore the little voice that just says, you'd be better off without any protocols, or you'd be better off with this protocol, or I'm not really into this protocol, or gosh, I really like what this feels like. I feel better when I do this protocol. So we have to pay attention. So today I challenge you to pay attention. Start paying attention to this. Choose the protocols that your body agrees with. Start there. It doesn't mean you can never open up, never try a new protocol. It doesn't mean it's not going to be scary at first, or when you're doing something new that you're not going to be worried or questioning it. But patterns over time tell you something. They tell you something about your innermost subconscious and how it feels and how it's responding to this. And it's important to listen. It's important to turn towards and to be in alignment and in agreement with what your own subconscious wants and needs. Because if you're always out of alignment and kind of your mind's telling you this, but your body and heart are telling you this, and you're sort of never really joining, you can't ever feel that peace. You can't ever, your body isn't going to just magically heal, right? We sense whether a treatment or a protocol is right for us or not. It's so important to listen, to get rid of all the background noise, and to hear what we're really saying, and then make choices that work for us and go slower. Maybe slowing down is important, or maybe speeding up. Maybe you're not doing enough and you keep having these thoughts in your head, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing enough. Well, then maybe you need to try more protocols, right? So it's like, what is your mind telling you over and over? I'm doing too much, I'm going too fast, or God, I'm not doing enough, I'm not going fast enough, I'm not taking advantage of all that's out there for me to try. So you'll hear these whispers and you need to listen. It's so important. You will get on the right path faster this way. There are so many protocols that will work and will help and will support you. But it's so important that you're in alignment with them internally. So I hope this helps, and I would like to challenge you to try this.